Adequate mobility, flexibility, and range of motion are a requirement for a powerful and efficient golf swing. So here's my top 3 stretches. For those of you that are new to my channel and don't know who I am, my name's Cody Wescott. I'm a strength and conditioning coach and golf fitness expert. I've been a trainer for over a decade and I've coached thousands of people around the world to play better golf. Now, let's get into the video. All right, the first one, gonna come all the way down to the ground, hands and knees. This is called the targeted cats and dogs. So this really hits everything, our lower body and our upper body. So start here, nice and neutral, flat back, and I want to arch my body and then go the opposite direction. All right, so arch, I'm gonna look kind of like an upside down U here. So I'm gonna push into the ground, I'm gonna tuck my pelvis underneath, squeeze my butt, squeeze your abs, tuck the chin, and then on the way out, I'm gonna start with the pelvis, so you're gonna see that move first, that's this area. All right, so I'm gonna arch and then let everything segment all the way up. So I'm thinking about every little vertebrae in my spine, going the opposite direction, dropping my chest down, looking up, exhale. And then I repeat, tucking the pelvis, rounding everything forward, and squeeze hard. So I'm squeezing my butt, I'm pressing into the ground so I can really round my upper back. And I'm working on my spine, so I just want a ton of range through here. You can stagger the stance, so that's where I'm going to get 1 foot closer. Knee and hand are a little closer, and on the other side, they're further away. So I'll show you what the other side would look like. Further away, and you'll notice as I do that same motion, I slightly rotate. And this one you can play with. You can add in, some side bend as I rotate. So I'm just kind of moving around, making it a little more fluid and dynamic. You can also go up and do that one from standing. But that's number 1. I think everybody has to be able to do that move your pelvis and your spine to get in good positions. Up next. Okay, this one is going to have 2 variations. I'm going to progress this. So we're going to start with the easier one and then move up. So first up is just going to be hip drops. So I want to keep my core tight, I want to keep my spine tall, and I'm going to be back here on my heels, and I'm just going to drop my hips from side to side. You'll notice that without moving my lumbar spine, my back, and rolling, that's pretty much all the internal rotation my hip has. This one, I got a little more external rotation so I can take it out, but that would be a hip drop, just focusing on moving my hips. That may not look like it's a ton because it's not. Your hips don't move that much in each internal and external rotation without borrowing mobility from elsewhere, right? So if I wanted to roll, I would just let my low back dump into it. All right, so then we can progress that one and we can go into hip rotation from a 90-90 position. So when I roll to one side, you're gonna see what I mean by 90-90. So I'm gonna go here, right? And you notice I am getting some from my low back, but I'm really trying to keep my low back still. Now I'm opening that hip, and then this one's gonna come along too. And notice that the difference here is that I took my hands off the ground. So that's gonna be tougher. It's gonna require more strength. And I like to go slow. I think too often you might see people on here, online, just kind of go like this, just move around a whole lot. So that one's a little bit harder. Start here, and I still do these. Even though I like doing the other one too, this is a great way to just move your hips. Last one. So yeah, all these have been down on the ground. And why do a lot of mobility moves end up on the ground? One of the reasons is you can get more stability from other parts of your body and focus on just the mobility that you're trying to achieve. If you do it standing or on one leg or something like that, other factors come into play, mainly like balance. So I like to work on my mobility with a lot of stability as well, all right? So sideline book openers, I'll probably have to show you this both ways. I don't have a camera person. A little low budget here at Cody Wescott Golf. So bring your knee up to about hip height. If you need a pillow or something for your head, go for it. And if you also need a pillow underneath this knee, you can do that as well. And I want to pin that knee down, all right? So we're having our hip flexed locks in our lumbar spine. This is a torso rotation. So if you want to add in some shoulder, you can make this into like a rainbow. But let's just focus on opening up our T-spine. So you'll notice I'm getting all this stability by laying on the ground, and that way I can just focus on rolling my body over. My back popped even a little bit. You notice I'm really fighting to keep that knee down because, again, similar to the hip rotation, if I want to borrow mobility from my lower back, I can easily do that by rolling up. So let's get here, pin that down. This is slightly elevated, so this would be about level right here. And all right, so I'm gonna show you from this angle. So let's just kick that out of the way. So it'll be like this, so you can still see me. And so you can tell by watching this video, I got some things I need to work on. And I think what's important to note about mobility, I use the top 3 mobility as my title here, and I just hit like the main things people need. We need to get the spine moving, right? Our hips and our upper back were in that first exercise. Pretty much everyone needs that one. Hips, probably every male I've ever worked with lacked hip mobility and thoracic spine. Now, if you are very limited in your wrists, your shoulders, your ankles, those would probably become priority for you. Let's say, for example, you don't need more torso rotation. Your torso rotation is great. Then it probably wouldn't be in your top 3, and your ankles move like shit. So then your ankles would probably take the place of that. So this was just very general, top 3. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna try to put out more YouTube content like this. It's not gonna be really fancy. I'm just gonna give you some great tips. Make sure to subscribe and give me a like down below. Thank you so much.